negative, unfavorable tides, it can swallow you such that when the tides are down, you would already be dead. What you are receiving tonight is a training. I'm explaining to you that sometimes situations and circumstances can happen in a way that is unfavorable, and that when it happens, it is not always an issue of you're not loving God or a sin issue. Now, there are times that it can be directly connected to sin or ignorance and all of that, but there are times under the best conditions, these things still happen. Hallelujah. I always wonder why Jesus had to use the route of death to save men. I wonder why he had to allow himself to be beaten, to bleed, and all of that. And I've read my Bible, and I'm thinking, by the wisdom of God, couldn't there have been another way, an easier route? Believers must be trained to know how to manage these times. There are many people who have left church because they were not trained on how to navigate temptations, trials. There are many people who have left God. Like the wonderful lady who gave her testimony. There are many people who don't have answers as to why things can be happening like this. And it is even more painful, like I've taught you in this house, when there is a conflict between your integrity and your results. If you are somebody who is of compromise, you are someone who is not serious with God, it's easy for you to take responsibility and say, I caused the problem. But what happens when, as they say, bad things happen to good people? Are we together now? There was a woman in the Bible called the widow of Nain. The Bible does not exactly tell us she did anything wrong, but the Bible tells us that this woman was just losing the men in her life. The husband had died. Now the only child, who perhaps represented her consolation for the future, had died. And they were on the way to bury the child. If you are not trained to understand these seasons and have the intelligence on how to navigate them, you can be so discouraged, so discouraged. There are many pastors right now, and I've had the honor of meeting some, talking with some, and they tell me, Apostle, I love God with all my heart. I'm doing the ministry the best way I know. I've gone for every pastor's conference. I've done everything. I still cannot understand why growth does not happen. How about missionaries that love the Lord? It was on their way serving God that they died. How about those kidnapped by terrorists? What did they do? Some of them were singing praise and worship before the cars were hijacked. And it was on account of their faith, and they seem to have butchered them one by one. Are we together now? Now, when you look at some of these complexities, you wonder, so where is this love of God we talk about? And let me tell you this. If your life is innocent of all these things, thank God, but prepare it as an arsenal, because provided you have claimed long life, one of these things is on this way coming around your corridor, I assure you. Hallelujah. Praise the name of the Lord. Someone sent me a text and said, from the time he